Guys, give me a second. Yeah. All right. Let's get this show on the road, bro. Gen Z men have changed society forever, particularly dating. And we're going to get into all the ways they've affected dating and changed the way that we look at relationships, period, and how this is going to affect our future. So, if you guys are looking forward to that, let's get right into it. So, you guys come in here, hit that like button for me. Double tap the screen, hit the like button for me. It's much appreciated. Shout out to Sandra, because this is going to be one of those live streams. So, Gen Z men are completely checked out. Yeah, I got you. I called you, Sandra. So, Gen Z men are completely checked out. We all know this and we all see this. This is not anything new. This is something that we clearly see on a consistent basis. And why wouldn't they be checked out? Why wouldn't Gen Z men be checked out? Because society is run by a matriarchy, which says they're the problem. They can't afford housing for relationships, to even get into a relationship to make them attractive to women. And plus, you add on artificial intelligence, you add on video games, technology. Uh, yeah. So you have all these different things going on that are disincentivizing men into being men. They feel left out. And as you guys come in here, double tap that screen for me, hit the like button for me. So we have a society right now that neglects the youth and neglects the young men. We'll big up the young women all day. You know, we girl, you can do it, girl power, and all these different things, and we'll allow women to get away with all different kinds of things. But men, we don't invest into men. Hell, By the time, unless he's good at sports, he don't really get any male uh, authority K through 12. He just doesn't. And tackle on the fact that maybe his father is out of the household, or you tack on the fact that he has a weak father, that, happy wife, happy life kind of situation. You tack on these multiple factors, and then we begin to notice, like, okay, these were never going to be men anyway. All the different factors were going against them. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the stream and read a little bit of comments. You guys are more than welcome to comment your thoughts. I'll get to your comments in just a minute. Excuse me. As you guys come in, double tap that screen for me. Real Toast, he said, hello, dude, what's going on? Shamu Baker, or Shamu Beaker, do you think AI is going to take over one day? Possibly, but we're not anywhere. AI is not anywhere near um, that right now. It makes too many mistakes, but it's going to make a significant impact. We'll probably be long gone, but what these companies are investing these billions of dollars in trying to get into this AI race is definitely going to affect society. And so it's already displacing entry level jobs, not high level jobs. It's supposed to help you in certain aspects, but we're far from that. But it will have an effect. It's already having an effect on relationships, because women, and hell, even men, are finding companionship through talking to the AI, the chat GBT, and everything. That lets you know where we are in society, and in dating, people would rather socialize and fall in love with a technology than to get in real life. Yeah, we're in very fascinating times, if you guys haven't noticed. But Gen Z men, back to Gen Z men, they never really had a chance to have really any chance at being a man. They weren't taught to be a man. They weren't groomed to be a man. Society propagates them. They get more advantages from being a sissy boy than they do from being a masculine man. The culture teaches them through clothing and all this different stuff to wear, you have nail polish and, uh, you know, wear tight clothing like women and have long hair like women and all this different crazy stuff. So we're dealing with men that have arrested development already. And then this causes them to check out. Because let's be real here. And we can make this live stream as short or how long you guys want to make it. But let's be real here, guys. You can call Gen Z men losers. You can call them not trying. You can call them whatever you want to call them. But what you can't call them um, is not checked out. That's what you can't call them. Defined by dominance instead of emotional maturity, because that's how it's always been. Men had to fight. You had to fight, bro. That's how it's always been. In football, I'm not gonna get into it, but that's how you're a protector. That's what you mean. That's the protective side of masculinity, dominance. And like women be crazy because like they be like, I want you to be emotionally mature, but then when you get in the bedroom, she wants you to be dominate her. So you need the dominance. That's how it's always been. It's always will be. Women like powerful men that can call the shots. But Gen Z men has thrown a loop into all of that because they don't want to do any of that. They don't want to protect. They don't want to provide. They don't want to be emotional tampons or whatever you want to call it to these women. They completely checked out of women. They don't even talk to women no more. They be talking mess to them. It's millions of able-bodied men that can work jobs that don't want to work because they feel like the society doesn't care about them. This is the effect that Gen Z men are having on society. and it's going to affect dating going forward. Gen Z men ain't trying to level up. They don't want to level. They ain't trying to boss up, level up. They content playing video games, masturbation. And so women gonna have to start sharing men. And the few men that want a relationship, they going overseas. So women, they don't have any options. I was even noticing a video recently where women were extremely angry at passport bros because they're taking their resources and their attention over to other women, which leaves them with less options over here. So in a minute, there's gonna be a passport girl movement in a minute. But American women aren't the most attractive women on the planet. That's just not true. We have a lot of obese women. And plus, they bring their feminism over there to these different countries, to these different men. It's not going to fly. And so Gen Z men has put women in a quagmire. And this is why you get that some women, they're partially checked out too. They're like, my standards are my standards, and I ain't going beneath them. So like, they reverted back to their strategies of like, I'm not going to settle for just any guy. I'm just going to at least get smashed out. So Gen Z men have changed the landscape of dating for women. They're not getting any attention in person, which drives them crazy. See, you think women like the attention online, but she don't really feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like online and in person is a different feeling. When you're in person, you get to feel that euphoria. You get to feel that little bit of a spark. Whenever you're on a screen and you're watching different stuff, it kind of don't hit the same. A lot of, excuse me, you can't trust it because a lot of these things might be bots or whatever. So you don't know what the hell, these people are strangers, so you don't know them. But real life validation is real validation. Anything you have to dominate was never yours. I have come to learn. That's not right. Anything you have to dominate was never yours. And plus, I think you're skewing. Like this is not. See, you're talking about like the 19, like the dudes that would whoop their women and then cheat on them. That's not what we're talking about. That's an extreme level of dominance, of toxic dominance that we're not talking about. Luca, what's going on? So Gen Z men don't want to level up, which hurts. See, they're content with the fact that hey, I'm not going to date any of these Western women, and I'm probably not going to date or get a chance to go passport bros. So I'm just going to be content with being alone and playing video games and being with my buddies. Now, I'm not here to say that that's good or bad. I'm just here to report on the facts. And you can call them incels, you can call them because the rise of virgins is skyrocketing amongst the men 25 and up. And so you can call them incels, you can call them virgins, you can call them losers, you can call them whatever you want to call them. But none of that is going to fix the fact that they're not trying to date or become appealing to date. And so women either going so the women are going to be forced to either polygamy with a few guys, or unfortunately, what most people are doing today is they're batting both ways, right? They're like, screw it, I can't get a man. Well, I'm gonna get a woman. Damn, I can't get as a man, I can't get a woman, so I'm gonna get a man. This is the ridiculous stuff that's going on in society. And it is what it is. There's no changing it. We can't put this cat back in the bag. We're too far gone at this point. So we're really going to see a big collapse in power and in society when the Gen Z men get 30, 40, 50 years old. I'm here to report that this is where we're going in society, in dating. The social ramifications of men checking out and feeling disenfranchised. We haven't felt the effects of it yet, but they're coming. This is why by the next 5 years, a lot of women are going to be single and childless because there's not a whole lot of suitable men and because they have unrealistic expectations. And I'm just interested to see what the next pivot's going to be for the sexes because the sexes are going to adapt and pivot at some point. There's going to be some kind of uh, change going on. Now, whether positive or negative, who knows? But there's going to be some kind of serious change that goes on and occurs within the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah, and that's the thing that you guys have to realize. Like dating today isn't the same that it was 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's just like with the stock market, it's just like with the technology advancements and AI race. There's always something different that's going to go on and change the dating market every 3, 4, 5 years. So it's crazy because 25% men 25 and up. There's an increase in the virginity in there being incels technically amongst the men, but there's no increase of women becoming sexless. Ain't that crazy? So there's going to be some kind of how they got like an economic depression. There's going to be some kind of dating depression that's going to affect. It's already happening, but we haven't seen the full effects of it yet. These are the group of people that are not going to have kids. This is the group of people that are grown up with technology, so they don't have any social uh, interaction skills, no social skills to communicate with each other. So they don't want to work, they don't want to date, they don't want to better themselves. And so this is why I keep saying, guys, that we're kind of like in a stalemate. See, women's problem is they don't want to settle, but they don't want to be in a polygamous situation either because the numbers aren't numbering. Okay, if you got 60% of men, 50, 60% of men that are checked out of dating or even more, and then you got to factor in the passport bros and all that stuff. We're talking about, 15 to 20, 30% of men at this point. So the numbers are saying that you have to go polygamy, but women don't want to be polygamous. They're too entitled or they're too delusional or their egos are just too big at this point because of feminism to accept being a side chick to the guy that they want. But the guy that they want is smashing them, their best friend, and three other women. So they're already in this polygamous situation anyway. We might as well just be up open with it. And plus, since you're in a polygamous situation, that doesn't mean that the guy wants to have a kid with you. He just wants to smash. So women's they're going to be doomed, guys. This is why they're going to be single and childless. They're not going to be single and celibate. They're not going to be single and celibate at all. They're just going to be single and childless because the top 20% of men that they're smashing that can get all the women in America they're not going to want to wife up the majority of these women and have kids with the majority of these women. They only want to wife up and take seriously a few women, have kids with a few women, or just the one woman that they choose. So women's dating prospects are skyrocketing daily because the men have checked out. Men today are so checked out. When I go in public, they don't even acknowledge that these women exist. They're so checked out, and these women be trying hard too. They be having the scrunch pants, the pants that be molding to their butt cheeks and shit. They be having their titties out and all kind of crazy stuff, and the dudes won't even look at them, bro. They be like, I saw that this morning on X-rated videos. I saw it that morning on whatever they watched. They not worried about these women. And I'm not here to say that that's a good or bad thing. I'm just calling it what it is. And so there's a unique dynamic going on that nobody wants to address and talk about, but it's going to have everlasting effects on how we deal with each other in the West. As you guys come in here, double tap that screen for me, hit that like button for me. And what they don't realize is the Gen Z men, they're stuck in their ways. Like whenever you get 18 plus, you are what you are, right? If you didn't taught to be a masculine man, if you weren't taught to be a strong man to work out and to have discipline and all this stuff, by the time you're 8, 9 years old, if it's stuff ain't imputed in you from having a strong father and a strong family unit, it's not gonna happen. So this is another reason why women are dating older men so they can get that last little bit of old masculinity. So the Gen Z men, they're not talking anymore. They're acting. They're not acknowledging these women. And it angers these women because they want the acknowledgement and the validation of men. It's crazy because women will go online and they'll be like, I didn't get dressed for no man. I got dressed to go out with my homegirls. And then that same woman, she'll come home from um, being out with her friends, and she'll be like, "Did none of the men ever approach me? What's wrong with these men? They checked out. They don't want no parts of the shit. They checked out because society disenfranchises them, calls them toxic masculinity. They're disenfranchised because they're sick of your attitude and feminism. They're sick of society, period. Which is why they reverted back to just playing video games and masturbation. See, we think to these men, they think being an incel and a virgin is an insult. It's not an insult anymore to these men. They fully know what they're getting into. And like I said, guys, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? I want nice stuff, so I'm gonna work, but and I want intercourse with women, so I'm gonna do whatever, stay in shape and all that stuff. But this is the strategy of some men. I mean, I've talked to some men, and they'll tell you to your face, like, yeah, I'm probably not even destined to be with the opposite sex, and you sitting back like, damn, like these dudes today, legitimately, they've had either such bad experiences. There's a multitude of things, but it's resulting in them saying, F it, screw it all, and I'm just gonna be playing video games. I'm gonna work just enough to play video games, give me a new game for Christmas. I'm not having no kids. I'm not dating no women. I don't care about family. I don't care about dressing good. I don't care about being in shape. They don't care about none of that, which is going to leave a lot of women childless, single. They'll still be having intercourse with the top 10% of men, or they'll turn to the same gender. And that's the other thing that nobody wants to talk about right now. When you see a man or you see a woman and they always with their home girl or their homeboys in today's society and they always with them all the time, you have to assume that they're doing something intimate with each other because nobody likes their homeboys that much. Nobody likes their homegirls that much where you guys are literally posting about each other each and every day. You're hanging out with each other 5, 6 times a week. So we're in some very, very crazy time, guys. Very, very crazy times. Times we've never seen before. Times that will change. We'll look back at this time 10 years from now and be like, damn, this was happening. The evidence of the decline of dating was already happening. See, dating, it changed with the smartphone and then it changed again. I mean, let's be real. I mean, if you settle down with these women, what are you truly getting in return? You're not getting a virgin. You're not getting a good woman. She's been jaded, ran through. Uh, she thinks she's supposed to lead everybody. But then when shit goes wrong, she expects you to fix the shit. It's crazy. You know, women, they live in the I want you, but I want you to be dominant, but romantic at the same time. I want you to be tall. I want you to be gentle at the same time. Women want you to be a whole bunch of shit that is unrealistic. And the dudes is like, bro, I don't give a damn about none of that shit. They want you to, they want you to be romantic, but then put her face in the pillow and treat her that way because she needs that aggression to come out every once in a while. She needs you to be a father, a good father to her and her kids, but to always be this hard-working man that makes $1 million. What's going on, Grateful? She said I guess it's a woman. I don't know if it's a woman or man. Soon there's going to um, be passport studs. Yeah, it's gonna be a passport. Like I'm just anxious to see what the next shift is going to be. I think there's going to be a level of passport girls as well. I say passport studs. That is crazy though. I've seen multiple videos of studs saying "f these women too" because they just too crazy. It's crazy work out here, guys. How much time have you been live? Almost 30 minutes. Shout out to my man, some guy in here for moderating. I appreciate you. So I'm anxious to see what you guys think the next big pivot in dating is going to be. I honestly don't know what it is it's going to be right now. You could argue polygamy is the next big shift. Women are going to accept being concubines to the rich guys or the attractive guys. Um, we could argue that women going to be flying overseas for men too. But the thing is, like nobody looks at American women as the most attractive women in the world. They look at American culture as it being cool, hip hop music and country music and they look at it from that kind of influence and the culture of feminism, but they don't look at it from the level of, like, they don't value it from the level of education. They don't value it from the level of health. Um, so crazy time, guys. Crazy times that we're living in. So yes, you guys come here, double tap that like button for me. Comment your thoughts below. If you guys want to support the stream, all the ways you can support, or super chat, or Cash App is pinned to the top of the chat. But one thing I do know, nobody's having kids and nobody's having family. That's what we do know. That's what we do know. Like, what'd be interesting? If we just got like the college kids, and like, let's just say we went to like a college campus and did like some kind of Charlie Kirk experiment, right? But instead of talking politics, we talk dating. And so we just asked the young men and the young ladies, we're like, hey, what's your mindset right now in college? Are you looking for a relationship? Are you just having fun? Like, that would be an extremely interesting experiment, social experiment, to see where the heads are of the young men and the young women. That would be extremely insightful, because that can tell us everything that we need to know. That would tell us everything that we need to know. Excuse me. So, yep, we probably gonna get up out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys for being in here. We're gonna live stream a little bit later on tonight. We got to talk about how men love 304s. It's crazy, right? So even the men that want relationships, they're still choosing the wrong women. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And really, I ain't gonna get into it. We're gonna say that for the talk later on. But Gen Z men have greatly influenced and changed the way, and it ain't just the Gen Z men in America. It's happening in China. It's happening across the world. When feminism penetrates a culture, it causes a tons of problems with the men. It kind of pushes men to the side and champions women. So like, when you have feminism, ultimately all you get in return is technically a matriarchy. That's what you revert back to. So you guys stay tuned for the live. We're going tonight. We're gonna have two different articles and videos to point out about the situation, guys, because this shit is crazy to me. This is absolutely insane. So that's my video. I appreciate you guys coming here on this Sunday afternoon. I will see you guys tonight. I'll be dropping some short videos throughout the week. I appreciate you guys coming in here. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.